For the House of Representatives. Let's get a different perspective right now. Joining us from Philadelphia, John Lott. He's the former chief economist at the U.S. Sentencing Commission. He's the author of the third edition of the book, More Guns, Less Crime. Mr. Lott, thanks very much for coming in. I'm going to give you a chance to respond. The United States has a lot more murders, you just heard from Congressman Nadler, than all these other industrialized countries. He says it's because there are so many guns that are so easily available out there.
Well, you look at the murder rates in these other countries, whether it be Germany that he just mentioned or others, and they had even lower murder rates relative to the United States before they had the gun control laws. When Britain, other countries, Ireland, Jamaica, other places imposed gun bans, murder rates went up. Americans have seen that in places like Chicago and Washington, D.C. Every place in the world that we have crime data, both before and after a gun ban's gone into effect, every single place has seen an increase in murders after the ban has been put in place. And many times it's been a several-fold or more increase in murders. And there's a simple reason for that, and that is when you ban guns, it's basically the most law-abiding citizens who turn in their guns, not the criminals. And rather than making it more difficult for criminals to commit crime, you actually make it easier.
What do you say to the legislation that the congressman would like to see passed, tightening up some of these restrictions, making it more difficult, for example, for mentally ill people to go out there and buy some semi-automatic weapons?
Well, Wolf, I mean, I guess I wish you had challenged him a little bit on claims about automatic weapons and some of the other things he was making. You know that these aren't involved in any of these types of cases that we're talking about here. But the point is, we've tried a lot of these laws already in the United States. We had the assault weapons ban. There's no study, no academic study by an economist or by criminologists that's seen that when the assault weapons ban sunset, that there was any increase in murder rates. You can go through politicians from Dianne Feinstein to Chuck Schumer and others who are predicting huge increases in murders and robberies after it's sunset. Murder rates are lower now. Robbery rates are lower now than they would have been otherwise. Even when the Clinton administration paid for academics to go look at the impact of the original assault weapons ban in 1994, they did not find any statistical evidence that it had improved crime rates in any way. And, you know, so we're talking again about...
Let me interrupt for a second, Mr. Lott. Hold on for a second. But the Bushmaster is a semi-automatic rifle that apparently killed all those kids and the teachers in the school.
Right, it's semi-automatic, and he was saying automatic. There's a big difference between a machine gun and something that's essentially the same as a hunting rifle. Look, regular civilians...
Why do you tell me why do people need a semi-automatic Bushmaster to go out and kill deer?
Look, most hunting rifles are semi-automatic rifles, okay? People use semi-automatic rifles.
Is a Bushmaster a hunting rifle? But is a Bushmaster a hunting rifle?
Right. The inside guts of it, in terms of how it functions, is a hunting rifle. The outside of it is what people get upset about. But when you talk about somebody using an AK-47 in one of these attacks, it's not the type of gun that militaries use around the world. It's a civilian version. You know, you've been working on this long enough. You know that these are civilian versions of these guns. Look, when it's civilians, it's very important for them to have semi-automatic weapons for defense. If you had a single-shot gun and you had two criminals attacking you, or you missed the first time you fired at a criminal, you'd be in a lot of trouble at that point. So if you want to go and talk about banning the vast majority of guns, which are semi-automatic, fine. We can go and talk about the costs and benefits of doing that. But here's the big thing that nobody's talking about, and that is all these attacks are occurring in places where we ban guns. You know, you go and look at the Aurora, Colorado shooting. There were 7 movie theaters within a 20-minute drive of that, of where the killer lived. Only one of the 7 had postings banning concealed handgun permits. He didn't go to the movie theater that was closest to his home. He didn't go to the largest movie theater. He went to the only one that banned guns, whether it's the Portland Mall shooting earlier this week or these others. Every single one of these cases banned guns.
Mr. Lott. I'm going to interrupt you because unfortunately we're out of time. You've made your case. You've made your point. We heard earlier from Congressman Nadler. I suspect this debate over guns in the United States is only just beginning right now, especially the President will be on his way here to Newtown in a few hours. I suspect he's going to get involved much more assertively in this second term of his administration than he did in his first term. We'll continue this conversation with you. John Lott is the author of More Guns, Less Crime. When we return, comforting their flock, my interview with members of Newtown's clergy, members of the